And we are live on the SideQuest, your weekly journey into the wonderful world. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna like spit all over here. The wonderful world of video games. I just made it worse by licking my hand and wiping the laptop that I'm working on.
Yeah, there you go.
Totally sanitary. I'm grossing everybody out.
You're very bad at improv because you just roll with it. You don't need to just. Nobody would have known that happened if you.
Yep. I'm like literally dictating every single little thing I do. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, it's going. I'm JJ. I don't think we got to that part. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm Dolly. Pleasure to meet you, JJ.
Nice to meet you.
JJ, that stands for JJ. That's good.
Yes, it's Jay. It's the Simpsons joke twice.
JJ. Yes. Hey, how's it going? How's your? It is holiday weekend. This is the old tea giving weekend.
Tea giving, yeah. Yeah, no, I had a good Thanksgiving. Went to go see Wish with my extended family.
No spoilers. What'd you think?
I enjoyed it, but I'm not. I don't know. It's one of those things where even with the bias I have towards Disney movies, I can be the first one to say like this movie's horse shit, and I have. Anyone that's listened to my podcast, we've talked shit about some of the most beloved. I'll bring that back one day. I still have a handful of movies to finish up on that thing. But I don't know. It's kind of clever in what it's doing. The story, it's
fine.
It's very Disney generic, but what it's doing with the story is very silly and goofy. And the thing I want to talk about that movie most of all is just all of the sort of secrets that they've got hidden throughout that movie. This movie only exists as Disney's 100th anniversary movie. Plot and all. So it's that's a lot of the stuff that you want to talk about with that movie, and all of it's spoiler territory. So
got it. Yeah, it didn't do.
It did horrible. It did.
Yeah,
it did
compared
horrible.
to other Disney.
Yeah,
compared to other Disney films, it
but
did not do very good.
I think it'll be fondly remembered in the long haul. It's just I think people for a studio like Disney, you can't just be okay. Like if you put out something that's okay, people are going to be harsher on it.
Sure.
Than if you put out just consistently. And when you make something that's bad, it's 10 times worse because people expect more from you.
Yeah.
So it happens in every industry. If when you put out an average Star Wars movie, like say Solo, it destroyed the Star Wars division because it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great because people when it comes to Star Wars, that name carries a cash with it. So I think it's the same thing that's going to happen with this movie. It's just that it's okay, and especially based on some of the stuff they've put out in recent years. Like Encanto is a really, really, really good movie.
It's phenomenal. It's fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely better than like the Red Panda movie that they put
Turning
out.
Red.
Turning Red. It's still good movie, but
that's a very focused movie towards young women. Yeah. And my daughter loved that movie. But
I know.
Yep.
No, this one's definitely
Raya and the Last Dragon, which I think that one was came out during the COVID era.
It came out at a bad time, and nobody was excited for it because it just seemed like it didn't seem like a Disney movie. Whatever. We're going too long into the Disney.
Seemed like a DreamWorks movie, which we'll get into some DreamWorks stuff today. Of course. Yeah, I went and saw Napoleon, which I was surprised that they were able to wrap it up in like under 3 hours, because typically a Ridley Scott movie or a big sprawling historical epic is like a 3 hour movie. But no, this was like a little over 2 hours and enjoyable. I don't think it was like super. It's not for the folks that look for the war stuff. Like if you're into Gladiator, it's not this. This isn't like Alexander. It's not Braveheart. This is a love story, and it's about a dude who is completely addicted to this woman, and how that kind of unravels his and kind of informs some of his decision making process.
His fucking letters to her are so good.
Did you watch it? Did you see the movie?
I haven't watched it, but you got to keep in mind. You got to keep in mind
I would,
that
sure.
Napoleon is considered the most documented human being on the planet. That I don't think that's entirely true anymore. I think everyone could universally agree that Chris Chan is the most documented human being on the planet.
Truman Show. No, they go into the letters. They go into so many aspects of this, and you really do see kind of his head. Yeah, horrible human. But you see his headspace and the ability that he had to kind of rally troops around him, and he knew how to play people, except for the one person, which was, I think, Josephine, which I think was the whole reason that he gravitated towards her so much, because she was his equal on a whole different level, and that screwed it. I mean, I would watch the movie for that, watching movie for that aspect. They don't really make that a point in the trailers. In the trailers, he talks about how great he is. I don't make mistakes. I would be the first person to admit that I made mistakes. I just don't make any. That's not what the movie's about. That's only like the top layer. I think that's to get like the bros who are into ancient Rome into the theater.
I think
it's a great. I enjoyed it.
The studio itself probably cut the trailer and probably wants people to think this is Ridley Scott's new Gladiator period piece.
Yeah. Except for Gladiator 2, which is coming next year. Yeah. But no, I saw that. It's enjoyable. It definitely it met my expectations for what, and I think it met my expectations when I started realizing what the movie was.
Yeah.
And I really liked it for that.
I said it on Twitter, and I guess I'll reiterate it with here just because we're talking about it. It's like, I know it's a good movie, but there's a good chance I'm never going to see this movie. It's not for any reason other than I love Ridley Scott. I mean, absolutely love Ridley Scott. I just have a hard time with a lot of movies like this where it's just like, I know Napoleon. Like,
yeah, almost know too much of Napoleon.
I could enjoy this movie anyways. So
it was I think it's because it's so biographical is why it I never knew much of it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It totally did. Totally does. Good old Michael Bachman, former SideQuesting and now government spy Michael Bachman. He works for the CIA. Really weird. Works for the CIA. So that, and then obviously the biggest news of the weekend was CM Punk. I'm just kidding.
Look in my eyes. What do you see? A cult of personality.
Look in my eyes. Tell me I'm lying. By the way, I'm not going to be around in 2 weeks. That's basically.
I can't wait. Listen.
It's gonna be great.
Listen. I love CM Punk. Hate Phil Brooks.
Yeah. CM Punk as a character is fantastic. Yep.
He's one of my all-time favorite performers in the world of professional wrestling. I am all in, pun intended, on his his new WWE run. It's not going to go well. I know it's not going to go well. I don't think the man learned a single lesson to what happened in AEW.
My favorite thing was during the post the media scrum thing afterwards, where Triple H basically said, people change in 10 years, and if you can't change in 10 years, then basically something's wrong with you.
That's
Triple H may have changed, but CM Punk didn't change.
Like that whole thing. That whole thing, that media scrum, which they're like, we're not going to let you on this yet. Really,
he's gonna be on Raw tomorrow, so that'll be a fun one to watch.
He's gonna sit down in the middle of the ring with his legs crossed and just talk shit about
AEW.
About the children of AEW or whatever. Yeah. Just like it's gonna be a wild ride. If he makes it through the next 14 months, I would be flabbergasted. I hope he does. I hope.
Yeah.
I really do hope that maybe he learned something from what happened, especially since so many people like aren't on his side
Yeah.
with what happened in AEW. Like maybe he can look and see, and especially immediately like people not knowing if Seth Rollins was being working the crowd or
Yeah.
not. Like
Yeah.
that should like people don't know because they know that you probably did. I mean, you did piss off Seth
Yeah.
Rollins,
You did.
although he didn't. I don't know what beef really is between those two because like Seth just went on and said, "Oh yeah, he's a cancer. Come on, get the fuck away from our show," kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
But like, did he do something to you? Did he like what, like I don't know what
We don't know.
personally
We
like
don't know. I'm very curious, but maybe maybe some of that will come out over the next few months
yeah
while Phil is in
yeah
WWE finishing his career. Because
no
there are all those.
I
Go ahead.
guarantee you he's gonna have another run at AEW. I just
You
know
think
it.
so? You think he'll be
Yeah
back there? Yeah.
yeah
Yeah. But yeah, that's we'll save that for the one-off SQW episode
yeah.
that we'll do maybe later this year, later next month.
2023 reflective.
Reflecting on the year that was. But we can talk games and video games, all the stuff. And hey, great, there wasn't a lot of news last week, and I freaking love that there wasn't a lot of losers, a lot of news last week because we were all over the place. We were all busy. We were all in, at least those of us in the U.S. We're all doing the fun Thanksgiving thing, and a lot of places now are closing on Wednesday and giving people the Wednesday off because travel is hectic, and obviously shopping has finally, because it's gone so online. Stores are now just saying, yeah, well, I mean, we have online. Target, Walmart, Best Buy, their online makes more money than their retail, so they can afford to open on 5 or 6 o'clock on Friday now, the way it used to be. The way it used to be back when I was a kid, instead of Thursday at noon. But so there wasn't a whole lot of news last week, but there were a couple small things that I wanted to cover. One is that Microsoft has bought Nintendo. Just a small thing. No, just kidding. Apparently, Borderlands 4 and Tiny Tina Wonderlands 2 are mentioned in the LinkedIn profile. Surprising no one. These popped up in a LinkedIn profile, and essentially for a one of the developers.
What comes out first? These two games or the movie?
Is the same dude doing the movie that's doing the Zelda movie? I don't know. But I mean, there's gonna be another Borderlands game. And Tiny Tina's Wonderlands did enough sales, and it did well enough critically, I guess, solid 7, maybe a little bit better. I don't know, that it warrants continually expanding that universe and making some more cash off of it. I have never played a Borderlands game, so just never had the time. Never ever. It seems like every time there was a Borderlands game, I ended up playing something else at the time, whether RPG or whatever that was coming out relatively around that same time. So never got into Borderlands. I can understand people who were nutso for 1 and 2, like Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2, and even the pre-sequel, which was 2.5, were people loved those games. Absolutely. And then Tales from the Borderlands, people love that too. I just never got into any of them.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Maybe I will eventually. I know it's like, it's always on sale. They have the compendium that has all these games together now. So
I have every single Borderlands game and don't know how this happened. I'm assuming it's just through bundles and sales and stuff and like freebies and shit.
Sure.
Like I just have Borderlands games.
Borderlands is
it's always funny because Borderlands 2 in particular always just pops up in the weirdest. It's like it's on the Vita and the Switch.
Yep. And I think the Switch just released Borderlands 3 like earlier this month, and now the rating came up for like the complete collection, which I feel sorry for whoever bought Borderlands 3 on the Switch. not realizing that it definitely will arrive in a collection.
Yeah, but I'm sure that collection's going to be like the Metal Gear thing, where it's just going to be the 3 games that are already up.
No,
Collected.
it is. Yeah, it's the Pandora's box, whatever that six game. By the way, I bought that Metal Gear thing because it was on sale for like $29, something like that, $25 at Best Buy or someplace. What was your haul this Black Friday? What did you like? Did you buy a lot of games or?
No, I didn't buy any games. I got you know that online T-shirt company Roosevelt's.
Oh yeah, I think
That's that Jurassic Park shirt that I wore at last year. They had a Black Friday sale, and I bought a Ninja Turtles shirt that looks exactly like the old tan bed sheets that I'm sure we both had.
Oh yeah.
I got that was my big thing. And I got something incredibly stupid that is video game adjacent. But I'm going to keep that a secret and surprise.
Okay, good. Until the right time.
Until the right time, which may be PAX. But we'll see. It will irritate everyone. So that's good, and it's not hard
for the course.
It's not. It doesn't play video games. I can say that.
Okay, all right. It's not one of the 18 Atari consoles you bought this year.
No. And just some minor stuff. I did a lot of small businesses. Good. The record stores had mini record store day. So I got one of the records they had this year was Konami's greatest hits for the NES.
Oh yeah, so you posted that. It looked badass.
Yeah, it's got like Gradius and Monster in My Pocket, which was a weird one, and like Bayou Billy and like Track and Field and Contra and stuff like that. So it's pressed on hot pink vinyl, so it's great all around. So, yeah.
I ended up I got the Metal Gear, and I got the whatever EA FC 24 because I haven't had a soccer game to actually play it. I like playing soccer games, and I like playing them on the Switch because it's a portable device. And I figured it's about time that they actually brought it up to par because it was the FIFA Classic edition, whatever the legendary holdover edition from like the Xbox 360 era. All you got on the previous gen consoles. So yeah, they had FC 24, and I figured let me pick it up because I do like me some soccer. And I used to be when the 360 first launched. Like my first, I think yearly, I bought FIFA for that console because I freaking loved it. And then I kind of fell off the boat with FIFA because it became real samey every year. And then because, I mean, it definitely advanced over the years, but because I had been away from it for so long, I didn't hop back in. But so I figured I'm going to jump back in now. Graphically, I don't care. I'm not looking for visuals in a soccer game. I just want good action, and the action part is supposedly there. So pick that up for like $20, I think it was. So I think $49 is all I spent, somewhere around there. $50 all I spent on gaming. And by the way, those two were part of I had bought my nephew's Mario Wonder, and Best Buy had the buy two get one free thing. So I bought Mario Wonder, and I think one of the other games. And I got a third one for free. So in the end, it's basically I was going to buy that game anyways, Mario Wonder, and I ended up getting this too. So
do you remember when thinking of soccer games? Do you remember when just out of nowhere they released Sensible World of Soccer for the 360? Like it's like, oh, okay, that was the last time I ever made one of those games. But I liked Sensible World of Soccer. But it was Tecmo Bowl but soccer.
So yeah, Borderlands.
Did you play any of the Metal Gear collection yet?
No. So here's what I ended up doing, and I probably should. Nice getting the TV though. I probably should. Typically, when I buy games over the holidays, CM Punk is back, baby. Ryan and I went to the AEW event on Wednesday in Chicago, and nobody was chanting for CM Punk there, but Survivor Series was also in Chicago over the weekend. I will say what was really wild about, and again, it's not a wrestling podcast, but we walk in, tickets were not sold out. They were doing buy one, get one free to try to fill up the seats. I believe because Survivor Series was in town in Chicago that same weekend, that people were just kind of holding on. Well, listen, AEW, people were going to go to one or the other.
Every wrestling show does that, though. It's not. It wasn't exclusive because like Survivor Series. Yes, of course we will. But Survivor Series probably had a ticket, some sort of ticket discount giveaway thing to fill in the empty seats and stuff. It's just every wrestling show does that and have done that since the dawn of the Monday Night Wars and even before that. So,
but AEW, they fully up and announced this, and like I mentioned in the, I don't know if you were on the last episode. No, you weren't actually. But Ryan and I buy these great tickets, right? We get like these $80, $60 tickets, whatever they were, then the fees on top. We're all excited. We had great seats, and then like 2 days after we purchased these tickets, they say. Tony Khan drops the news. It's buy one get one free now. Boy, were we pissed, man. We could have saved ourselves like $60 each or whatever the thing was, and had some pocket change. But it's always a good time. But yeah, CM Punk. We'll see tomorrow. But so I bought those buy two get one free for the Switch, which I like that Best Buy has that. But yeah, that was all the gaming purchases. Lot less than years past. Trying to save money.
Here's the thing about the Metal Gear collection. I guess, do you have any other news? Because we can pivot into.
I do have one more bit of news.
Okay.
Let me share that, and then we can get into
that. Sucks because this was a perfect segue, and now you're gonna fucking piss on it. So
it kind of is about a famed Japanese creator.
Yeah, but it's not about Metal Gear, and I could just talk because I've been playing Metal Gear.
It's about somebody who has worked on Metal Gear. Hideki Kamiya says he had initially planned this Bayonetta saga, like a 9-game series, something crazy, whatever, Game of Thrones level. And now that he's no longer at Platinum, he said he's basically got to take his ideas for that saga to the grave with him, and let Platinum Games just kind of pump out sequels instead of a story. So, he's been surprisingly forthright, whatever, something forth with his comments after leaving, which is very typical of Kamiya.
Unfortunately, he also made Bayonetta 3, which kind of hurts his.
I have that's on my list. I got to finish that this year. It was one of the games on my backlog, but we'll get there. Look at it. When I was unemployed, I live tweeted me playing Metal Gear for the first time. Yeah. Speaking of Metal Gear,
there we go. Thank you,
Thank
you, Ryan.
Talk about Metal Gear.
Yeah, in terms of the Metal Gear collection may not be the best way to play these games. But I will say, as a person that reviews compilations for this website nonstop and like re-releases and fancy ones, this is one of the better ones in terms of content on disc. Because there's some cool stuff. You get full scripts and lore books with every game. So like it gives you, like I said, entire scripts. You never see gaming scripts, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's cool. That is cool, actually. Yeah.
And like, just these comprehensive books that go through like story beats and characters and connections and stuff. It's like that Metal Gear Solid 4 database thing that came out for the PlayStation 3, but sort of like organized in multiple volumes of a book.
Yeah.
And
what console, what version of MGS?
Everything that's modern. It's on PC, Steam, at PlayStation.
So is it the HD versions of those games, or the original PlayStation 1 versions?
It's the HD versions. Metal Gear Solid 1 is you get both the original and the Integrate version of it, which is cool. Yeah, that one's not really very common in America, if like at all available in America until now. It lets you upload. You get to choose you get to choose your save file, so you can get the whatever discourse you want with I don't know why the name is escaping me. The telepath.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm bad with names, including names of characters that I really, really love. It doesn't have Metal Gear Solid 4 in it, but this is Volume 1. It has 1 through 3, and then like because like if you get the Metal Gear Solid 1, because if you buy them separately, you
Mhm.
can buy them all separately, and they all do their own thing. Metal Gear
Okay.
Solid 1 comes with the 8-bit games, the original Japanese 8-bit games, and if you buy the complete collection, you also get the NES versions of those. So you also get
Okay.
that and
Oh, cool.
Snake's Revenge, which
Yeah.
are the absolute worst of these. So
But it's
uh,
what all of us played in
yeah,
the US. That's what we do
yeah.
with Metal Gear.
So like it's not in terms of what the games are, it's not the greatest
Sure.
collection, but the content's really fucking cool. I love that you can the idea of something so simple of choosing which save file you want to be on your memory card for Metal Gear Solid 1 is really cool. So it's like
Sure.
I'll have him do the Castlevania dialogue this time. Yeah, so yeah, I lost my camera.
There
It's
goes your
okay.
camera.
But no, yeah, I don't think it's a great collection overall, but the bonus stuff is kind of worth if you've already got it, look through that stuff because that
Okay.
stuff's fantastic. I don't know which platform you got it on. The Switch one
I got the
apparently
Switch
runs.
one. It's probably like ass, which I'm sure.
Yeah, apparently
But
runs like yeah.
the reason I buy the Switch stuff is a collector. You know, they're way more collectible than the other versions because still a cart
Yeah.
style thing. So
Yeah.
that's why I buy when I buy games.
You're a
I'll
fool
buy
if you think the Metal Gear collection is going to be worth
something in 10 and a half years.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into other things that we've been playing. You have a couple review codes, and this one, this one is near and dear to my heart.
Okay.
Because, like you, I am a fanatic for Shrek, and so is the rest of the world, and that's why they created a kart racing game.
They created a kart racing game. I got it on Steam. I got the Steam review code. Out the gate, it was a nightmare for me to get this thing.
Oh, really?
Like, I just wanted to use controller bindings, and it really made me jump through some hoops.
Okay.
And they're psychopaths, and their default acceleration button is the right bumper, which I have no idea why in 2023 you put accelerate on the right bumper. But I don't know, I didn't like this game. It is
not even with Boss Baby in it,
especially with Boss Baby in it. I will give it credit where credit's due on a couple of things. I like the you know how Mario has that like start line boost where if you just time it, they have a very similar thing, except it's like musical kind of thing. So it's like music notes that you kind of like are timing, and then you get the boost, which I think is really clever. I like that. It's not just like that. The weapons are nothing. They're just the typical generic bullshit, just kind of DreamWorks themed as vaguely as possible. The other thing I'll give him credit for is that the voice acting's terrible, but there's because everyone's a sound alike, and a lot of them are just like the worst possible sound alike. But there's a lot of it, and they go to like some nuts and bolts kind of thing where it's like if you hit somebody, they will reference who they hit or something. Like,
oh, that's kind of cool.
They are aware of who they're like interacting with on the track, which is kind of neat. Like nobody does that. Listen, Shrek is a meme, but I'm going to say that Shrek deserves better than this game. Shrek, especially that first movie, is an absolute like animation milestone. It's in terms of the world of animated films, it's one of the most important animated films of all time,
and this kart racer is not that.
Is not like I like between this, like I enjoyed playing Disney Speed Stars more than this, or Speedstorm more than this, and that's not saying a whole hell of a lot.
How so control? How does it control? Like I'm looking at this. You mentioned the kart, but like actual
like they're like
racing,
like their boats. which is
Oh.
not good for a racing game. I never really ever felt that I had a lot of solid control over these. The drifting is
Okay.
not great.
Okay.
You're going to have a hard time finding serious user reviews for this game too. If
Hmm.
you go to Steam, it's like got a bunch of like positive reviews, but like the body of the text all just makes Shrek jokes.
So
Um,
yeah, this is for fans of Shrek that don't
yeah,
really understand that you need a good game to support
yeah,
the
and it's
Shrek.
like, and Shrek is just like like yeah, okay, they're Shrek characters, but it's also got like Madagascar and Kung Fu Panda and Boss Baby and How to Train Your
All the
Dragon
hits,
and all
man.
the
All the
hits, man.
hits.
It's like it also makes you really realize, like, I guess I really don't know what DreamWorks is doing these days.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Trolls is
The
kind of their thing right
Trolls.
now,
That's right.
and they're
Yeah.
in here.
They should have just made this a Trolls racing
I
game
think it
and
probably would have.
focused.
Yeah, especially considering that Trolls game. Like if they made, because it has that, like I said, that musical start kind of thing,
Uh-huh.
and especially this most recent Trolls movie is 100. Like they've all been music based for the most
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
Uh, somehow
Hmm.
combine musical stages with this and make it just
Oh.
Trolls racing. You probably would have like made a better game, but like
It's funny because in this trailer they talk about how there are tracks themed like
yeah,
the famous like the great DreamWorks
yeah,
IP, and it's like I don't want a skin on a
yeah,
race course. I want an
yeah,
actual. I want a Trolls musical course. I want
yeah,
a Shrek course that
yeah.
relies on something
I
that
wanted to rely
is
on
different.
Shrek gimmicks.
Shrek gimmicks. Yeah,
Like
give me
if
something cool like that.
I am racing through a swamp, it needs to be muddy and
Mhm.
like you need it needs to be like, like
Yeah.
Mario
Yeah.
courses where like once in a while it'll be like you go underwater and it changes the way things can
Yep.
handle for a minute
Yep.
or two.
Yep.
But it doesn't really, it never goes that way, man. It's got some gimmick stuff, but never any of it. e- Everything
Mhm.
does feel like a skin on like they made the track first and then painted
Yep.
over it. um I
Hmm.
I was talking to you before the show about this, and I was like, after I was done playing this for, I'm going to be honest, not that long, because I got real sick of this game real quick. I mean, enough to experience the game, and it's
Mhm.
like, but like, I was like, I need to look up this game, and
Yeah.
like every once in a while, it's like again, you can't get a hold of what people's honest opinion is of this game because there's so much just like either love of the IP or doing it for the jokes.
Mhm.
I thought the tracks were completely and totally uncreative, but
Hmm.
a lot of people say otherwise. But like I wouldn't recommend this game to. There's better kart racers on PC, especially on the Switch. It's
It
you cannot go into this and not compare it to what else is already out there. It's
Sure.
impossible. As much as you would like to just base it on its own merits, like you put this against Mario Kart, you put this against some of the Sonic racing games
Mhm.
that are out there, not the most recent one, but everything before that. Like I said, Disney Speedstorm, it would be is a fun game if you just can look past the
Mhm.
gross predatory free to play
Microtransactions. Yeah. Yeah.
microtransactions and stuff. Like there are better kart games virtually on every platform that's out there. You get Crash Team Racing on
Sure.
PS5.
And this
Xbox has its own stuff. Like
so this is basically like you really, really have to like this IP.
yeah,
Otherwise, the
the,
racing's not going to cut it.
the racing isn't good enough. You have to be just an absolute. You have to be able to quote Boss Baby,
Yeah.
in order to get.
That's the
Yeah,
okay. That's the tag, the lead on this. You have to be able to quote "Boss Baby" to enjoy this cart.
yeah, yeah.
DreamWorks
So
All Star Kart Racing.
yeah,
You've also been playing another game
yeah.
that is also kind of based on a another license or a classic license or whatever. But
Yeah, it's these recharged games are Speaking of Boss Baby, Evil Otto returns to Berzerk. Have you ever played Berzerk before?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Berzerk.
Way back in the day. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's Berzerk, man. I love Berzerk. I think it's a great old-timey shooter like this, and I love the concept of Evil Otto still to this day, and they really make him every bit of a powerhouse. I'm hoping this trailer brings him up soon. Very scary villain for a in the goofiest way possible.
So so you're saying this is basically like that original Berserk game, you twin stick-ish shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, here comes Evil Otto.
Here comes Evil Otto, everyone's favorite big bouncing ball.
Yeah, just a big bouncing emoticon. Yeah, and the cool thing about these recharged games, they really do just like take the heart of the game IP and just make it look as beautiful as possible.
Mm-hmm.
These all look fantastic. They all look like Geometry Wars, which I still to this day think is because they got that neon stuff with like the voxels and like geometry and just like the exploding and stuff. It's like everything feels like Geometry Wars, which I will still say is one of the best aesthetics a video game has ever had. I just I love Geometry Wars, man. And
so this
these
game
all
is
feel
not
like it.
okay, so this game has twins. Are all these all new levels? Is that what we're looking at here?
It's a mix. There's a lot of homages and straight remakes, but also new stuff, and most of it's new, but it's Berzerk is so sort of defined by its simplicity anyways, that like even if it's not new,
you will die.
Yeah, you won't know. And this game's cool because it's hard. It really is just a survival twin stick shooter. Get the highest score you can. You get your power ups. You get your stuff. I mean, all of these recharge games are relatively the same in a lot of ways. Because they all kind of follow this theme. All of them are like twin stick shooters where you're just trying to last as long as you can. And because like the Yars one, Black Widow, things like that, like they're all relatively the same just based off of these old Atari IPs. And like this one is probably one of the more unique ones that they've done because there's more, there's hallways and doors and sort of decision making and a lot like which door are you going to enter in, what that kind of thing. It's like almost a maze that there's really no end to.
A few different modes in there too.
Yeah I mean it follows all the recharged things. And
Berzerk was one of the very first arcade games that I ever played. And I mean, obviously, Centipede and Galaga, but Berzerk felt so unique back in the day. And obviously it's aged, right? Berzerk has aged. And it's all those original games have aged, and this is more of a nostalgia play. But when you can take some of that nostalgia and update it, but it's still those same games, I think that's successful. It's doesn't look like it's gonna win over new players, but I think for someone like you, for a guy like you and a guy like me who grew up on these games, I think it's just nice. This is the proverbial seems like the proverbial this is what I remember the game being like, and then you look back, you're like, that doesn't look like that, but this kind of feels like that.
I wish you pull up just an old Berzerk gameplay just for shits and giggles.
Let me look around. For you. Continue.
But no, they've been really killing it with these recharged games. I'm a big fan of these. It's always funny. Listen, I don't want to talk shit, but it's also always funny at the end of these trailers when it's like available on the VCS. You're like, I mean,
that thing's out. Technically coming to the Atari VCS. Yeah. Let me see if I can find that.
You got to be careful. Here we go. I say you got to be careful because you will just find games based on the manga and anime Berzerk.
I mean, here, I'm going to share this one.
Yeah.
Dude, I love this game.
Look at this aesthetic. It's so cool. Because you're basically
walking around.
You can hear this game.
Without anything. Yes.
And you're basically you're basically just fighting Cylons, man. I mean, that's the thing.
It was a God, it's like a classic
there's a
almost like
lot
an
of
adventure game type of thing.
there's a lot of Robotron in it.
Yeah, Robotron was it? Yeah.
But like I really just want Evil Otto to appear in this fucking trailer
Yeah, I don't
because
know
it's
if you'll.
even funnier.
Let's see if I can
In
forward it and
come
find
on,
Evil Otto
Evil
somewhere.
Otto. Jeez, this
We'll
guy's
find
good.
whatever. This guy's good. He's surviving, but he probably already done. Oh wait, no. Oh well, there you go. Berserk Recharged. Just a good classic, good classic take on or nostalgic take on that classic game. That's good. I like that.
Yeah, I guess the last time I've been on here, I can just say a couple of things else before you go on to yours.
Yeah.
I completely 100% and platinum trophied Spider-Man 2.
Okay. Spider-Man's.
So obviously I have good things to say about Spider-Man 2. I've that's like the second platinum trophy I have on
PS5. All right.
So
what's the first one? Spider-Man remake?
No, I got close, but I can't remember what the first trophy was. Oh no, it was Telltale Batman.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you only get, because there's no other trophy, just progression based. And when you beat it, you get the platinum trophy.
Gotcha.
And I played the other Telltale games not on the PlayStation, or else I would have this. But
so Spider-Man 2. Okay.
Spider-Man 2, great game. Love that. Love the story. Love it. I mean, I wish I want to talk with Zach about this game.
Like, we'll wait till Zach's on next time, and you guys can.
And I beat the main story of Mario Wonder. I didn't 100% that, but I beat Mario Wonder.
I'll eventually 100%.
Yeah, me too. It seems like it seems doable.
I haven't gotten through the main story. I'm on like World 4 or something. I'm chipping away at another game, which we'll get into in a second.
I think the final Bowser fight is really cool.
Okay, cool.
So yeah.
Oh, spoilers! No, I'm just kidding. It's a Mario game. Speaking of Mario games, the game that you and I are going to talk about right now is a Mario game. It's one that is a perfect Thanksgiving style game, and as Super Mario RPG. So yeah, I've been playing this, and I know you've been playing it as well. Yep. I remember playing this game when it first came out on the Super NES, being so excited and playing it and just loving it. I completed it back then, but just freaking loving it for what it did. And I said, they got to make more games like this. I mean, this is the future of RPG, of back then JRPGs, but the future NRPGs, Nintendo RPGs, and let's go forward with this. And nothing really ever materialized similar, but
it's funny because Paper
Mario
is called Super Mario RPG 2 in Japan.
It is. And the Mario and Luigi games also are a part of this too, this series, because they kind of split a little bit. But what I still playing this game now after 30 years, still am totally enjoying the game, but it isn't holding up to me because everything gaming wise has progressed so far from there. I am not a fan of like those little motions where it's like, oh, something silly happened, all the characters fall over and tilt forward. It's like, okay, I got it. We had to do canned animations like that in the 16-bit era because that was the only way to convey stuff. You had so many pixels, and that can kind of get. But
everything's pantomime in this game. So it's hard to like. What's the alternative? I guess.
I am enjoying it. It's got, a neat cast of characters. It is the original. This doesn't feel like a remake as opposed to remaking all the elements and sticking them back together. This isn't like a Resident Evil 4 level remake. This is just everything was pixel. We turned it into 3D. We've got some fun camera. We've got some some FMV sequences. We added a couple little things here and there. That's what this game is. Still an isometric mode.
I beat Mario RPG one time, and that was in my like early teens. So baby. I didn't own a Super Nintendo like growing up. I was a Genesis kid. My aunt my aunt had a Super Nintendo,
Okay.
so I would like rent games when for like spending the weekend at her house when my parents were out of town or whatever. And so this is one of those games that I would rent because she didn't own it.
Sure.
So, but like, yeah, early teens, I had my own Super Nintendo, and this is one of the back when video games were easy to get a hold of and not $1,000. So I was able to beat Mario RPG then, and then over the course of like the next, 20 years or whatever, I would like Mario RPG and then like play like the first hour of the game and then just kind of walk away from it and never play it again or whatever. So like everything up to what is Clay Morton in this game.
Sure.
Like I've played that dozens of times, that like startup of this game. So like booting up this game and playing it and being like, wow, everything's exactly the same. Like it just like unlocks that part of your brain. Like all of the plot beats, all of the animations, like when something unique and new does happen, like cutscene wise or something, like you notice it immediately because you're like, oh shit. But like everything is just so exact. It's wild. I mean, like I said, I haven't played it to completion in a significant amount of time. So like playing through it again is I play a lot of old games, so like so like things like being outdated, it just never like, if I didn't know any better, I would think this was like a GameCube game.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It's a great way to put it because it feels like the time, like the attacks that are like they have the time attacks, let's say, where you are trying to hit the enemy at the very specific time to get extra points or whatever. It's different. It has not aged the same way here as the Paper Mario and Luigi games have, because I think those finessed really nicely when to hit. Where in this, it's like it's not in that same.
They made that timing. They made that timing a bit. They made it a thing, an interactive thing for the player to like fuck around with or whatever, like with little meters and gauges and things. Like this is just exactly what
it's what's interesting about this. So, this is exactly that old game. It literally is the original Mario RPG, and I think this. Because there are a few little additions here. We won't have to get into too deep into that, but I think this does replace that original Mario RPG on this. So you can stop asking for that game to show up on the Nintendo Switch Online. It's this game. This is the new original Mario RPG. They cleaned up a few things. Obviously, they've sort of made it a tad bit easier because of some of those adjustments that modernizations, but. This from now on, whenever someone says we play Super Mario RPG, this is the one that they'll talk. Don't play the Super NES version because this captures all of that, cleans it up. And again, I still enjoy the plot. It's very simple. It's a Mario game plot in an RPG because. Why are there 7 stars? I mean, it's not like 1 star is more difficult or there's story behind it. It's like, no, there's 7 levels. They wanted to put 7 fucking levels in this game. That's why there are 7 stars. And
they cut that fucking subtitle out of the American version. Like,
they did.
They're like we're not calling it Legend of the 7 Stars anymore because it wasn't in Japan. And I wish I wish this were like some of those other like HD remasters or something in a way, because it really would be nice to just hit a button and have it like go to 16-bit aesthetic. Like, because there's a lot of times where I'm playing it and like I really did like the look of that game a whole hell of a lot. Some of the characters
using the pre-rendered. Some of Nintendo was into the pre-rendered stuff.
Back when the industry was in the pre-rendered, like that was just, we have to fake 3D. How do we do it? Scan a picture into the files. But like I really do and they made the game take place mostly during the daytime now, because like remember the old game, like it was just completely dark all the time.
And you'll exit a building sometimes and it'll pop into the daytime. It's but I totally appreciate what they're by them putting this game out, because people have really wanted this game. And now, I mean, there have been those rumors of an Earthbound remake coming out as well. And I keep thinking, well, if that to me could use a different aesthetic. And so here's what I feel like: the new definitive version of Wind Waker is the Wii U version, because they actually modified the art style a bit to make it look more like ceramic animated dolls, which I think looks absolutely freaking gorgeous.
And they introduced they streamlined the sailing.
Yeah. And I think, like, whenever the Earthbound remake comes out, I feel like, man, you got to go with the clay. Give me those, like, give me the box art was clay. You know, we all know about the Earthbound. Like, give me a cool aesthetic to that, because that's what I want. This was hard to make in a different aesthetic because of the just the nature of the original. But regardless,
changing the aesthetic changes the
in this
in a lot of situations, changes like the viewing angle, changes the combat, the depth perception, a lot of little things that you don't
in this one. It's more so I want what I want going into the future. Okay, so I'll kind of finish my piece on this and say it's still a fun game. It's not a groundbreaking game anymore, because we've gone so far past it. It's just a nice bit of nostalgia. If you've never played it, pick it up. I mean, it's a recommendation that it's difficult to not recommend this, especially if you're a Mario fan. But what it's
not even the most quirky Nintendo Mario game anymore.
Yep. But I think what I would love to see going forward, like what Mario RPG does, is it does manage to take some elements of what was around for Mario at the time. Like, there's a Super Mario World level. There's a little bit of like a hint of a Mario Kart. There's the mine carts. There are a few things in there that they did that sort of pulled from some of whatever Nintendo, whatever Mario was up until that point. Mario has been, there's been like 20 years since then. I want to see give us a new Mario RPG, Super Mario RPG 3, that is up to like, we are now taking all the elements of things that have popped. There's a Mario Golf level. There is there are aspects of Mario Odyssey and Mario Wonder and Mario Maker that fall into the story here. There are, Mario Kart. I think I'd love to see a new Mario RPG style game that definitely capitalizes on the rest of the, a Mario movie RPG, I think could work fairly well. But I think another reason that they dropped some of the Legend of the Seven Stars, some of their stuff, especially in this modern take, is Mario has been hot this year. It's $1 billion, movie, or $1.4 billion movie, and it's going to sell. It's been selling a lot for the holidays. Anything with the word Super Mario on it, nice and simple and easy, is going to sell. It's going to sell well.
Also, stars are, completely different thing in the Mario universe these days. One of the very next Mario games to come out after Super Mario RPG is Super Mario 64, and that has 120 stars. It makes seven stars, or 121 stars.
But I like this game. I think it's totally worth picking up. It's not groundbreaking anymore. It's just a nice bit of nostalgia for me. So I'll be at the Game Awards in a couple weeks here, and I know Mario Wonder is up for as a nomination for Game of the Year. This potentially could have been up for a nomination for an RPG Game of the Year if it had released a little bit earlier, even though it's a straight up remake. I don't think either of those two games are. Some stuff there. I don't think either of those two games are Game of the Year worthy, but what it does mean,
Wonder is definitely closer than RPG for me.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Closer to this category than RPG is for this category. But I'm starting to wonder, I'd love to have, this is me kind of thing. I'd love to do almost an alternative game awards thing, like where, and you see a few of those pop up here and there, but like we weren't in love with those categories in the Game Awards because you have best indie game and like one or two of the games aren't necessarily indie.
Oh yeah,
games.
Dave the Diver is not an indie game.
We talk, and even like the publisher of Dave the Diver was like, "Hey, thanks, but we're not an indie game." Or the developer, but I'd love to do more slightly focused or maybe a little bit broader style games of the year. Like best remake, best modernization is best adaptation, because then you could put Metroid Prime HD and Mario RPG remake and Resident Evil 4 and all those in there, where right now there isn't that type of category. Mario Wonder is like breaking what best breaking of a game original game.
Dally, I respect you sometimes. Making things more granular is never the option.
Listen, best game featuring characters wearing hats in 2D. I think that is a no. But no, it's just interesting when you see the Game Awards, when you see gaming awards and games of the year and all the different takes people have on those, and it's like anything could be a game of the year if you enjoy it. And at the same time, it's like you could get really granular with stuff and you don't have to, and whatever. Anything that came out this year is capable for game of the year, including Metroid Prime HD and whatever else.
I don't know if you notice it, but whenever I do my game of the year stuff for side questing, I always give them fake categories that they want.
Yeah. I didn't know that's cool.
It's always what I do. I always give them like, favorite whatever or something. Like that's just like it's like
love it.
It's my this is my top 5, but I'm giving them a fake category that they want.
I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to do that because it'll help me pick, because I'm having a tough time. I have my right now. I have a game of the year, but I got to do my due diligence, and I've got to play. There are 3 other games that I have to play. Dredge, I have to play, and I have to at least play enough. I have to play enough of Alan Wake 2. And there's one more on my list over here. Games that I want to play to make sure that do these get me game of the year. And a game of the year for us, thankfully on SideQuest, it's all very personal. It's not like this is the industry's game of the year. We do a really good person.
Yeah, I have a feeling that this year will be way more difficult to decide because like the last couple of years it was like we at least shared. I think the closest we're gonna get is I feel like there's going to be a couple. Me and Zach's lists might be closer than you think, maybe. But I don't know. A
lot of hentai games and
unfortunately, Hunipop 2 did not come out this year.
But it'll be fun. We got a few weeks yet. Maybe we'll do our when we do our side questing holiday party, which is coming. We can announce our winners then. That could be kind of a fun thing. That'd be a fun thing. It'll be a fun skit. But anyways, last little bit of a quick little bit of news before I sign us off here. The Game Awards today noted, Jeff Keighley said, we're doing away with the world premiere card, which is just, how are people going to get drunk now during the Game Awards? Like, if you're not going to yell out world premiere, then what are you even doing?
Saving that for the Summer Games Fest. He's got to rebrand it for the Game Awards. Premiere. This is
Summer Game Awards. Yeah.
This will be his like Nintendo, where it's like the next headline.
Next headline. Listen, world premiere is brand new game announcement. Just leave it that. That's all.
Well, unfortunately for Jeff, almost everything is not brand new breaking
anymore.
News these days.
It's all stuff we've known. Yep. And I think that's why they're getting rid of the world premiere.
Yeah, because
otherwise you're going to have a lot of
I'm sure
free to play.
We didn't talk about it in the news section because I don't remember if it was last week and I wasn't there forever, but like I'm positive that Last of Us 2 announcement was supposed to take place at the Game Awards.
Sure. It's fun. I don't think it was because they were ready with pre-orders going live pretty quickly. I don't think it was going to be a Game Awards announcement, but I do think it could have been. It was something that was going to be there was probably going to be other
Yeah.
like Last of Us TV show news or something happening. And to be honest, I think they probably may have waited a bit for the to announce Last of Us Part 2 because of stuff like the strikes, the actor strike, the writer strike, and so maybe that's something to do with it. I don't think it was timed with Game Awards. I think that we are definitely. I think Jeff's tempering a lot of things now with the Game Awards because everybody knows.
He definitely knows that he doesn't have anything either. Like,
yeah.
So, like, what could possibly like? What could he possibly announce this year? Like,
announce, oh cool, yeah, we're gonna get new cars for Forza and maybe another season for Halo. No one plays Halo. Remember Halo? Halo's there. Starfield DLC. No, I'm just kidding. But it's world premiere. Rest in peace, world premiere. Rest in peace, WWE, because of CM Punk.
Vince McMahon is going to inject the WWE with a lethal dose of poison. And CM.
With that, we're gonna sign off for today. It's a fun one. We'll do another this week and at some point, and then we've got the Game Awards, the big Game Awards show next week.
Boy, wait!
You guys got to hold that fort down. It's gonna be while I'm there. Maybe you'll see me on. Maybe I'll jump in from there. That'd be fun.
Bring your phone up. And
yes, that's a great idea.
I don't even know. Listen, there's some stuff happening during the Game Award.
Yeah,
I probably won't be able to do it unless it's like nighttime stuff for the Game Awards. Again,
true.
My schedule, my schedule's fucked to hell right now. So
that's a good point. That's a good point. Maybe if there's anything Game Awardsy, we'll have to see. Maybe it's maybe it's just Taylor. Maybe it's just Taylor and Zach and me chiming in real briefly to say hello.
Because
we may not have our annual Game Awards drink along for the first time since like 2011 or 12 or whatever it was.
Yeah. I wish I could. I mean, there's plenty of. There's even more chaos coming at my job. So
of course.
Who knows? What even the next? When is the Game Awards? What day is it?
December 7th.
Okay.
Thursday the 7th. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm curious. I'll be very curious to see what's going on.
I will say this for everybody. I don't know if I probably can mention it. I mean, I'm sure I can. I'm going to be on Giant Bomb at Night on December 6th, Wednesday, December 6th, repping SideQuesting. So I think I'm on at the 7 o'clock hour with some great other folks on there too. So we're excited to. It's gonna be a good show.
What was it? I saw like Paris. I saw.
Yeah. I don't know if they're announcing it, but I can say who I'll be on there. Because they're still kind of adjusting schedules with some folks, but it'll be a fun time. It'll be a fun time. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk just like literally. There is zero agenda. It's like have us on and just kind of chat. So I'll send the link out when it's gonna go live. I'll post it on the old SQ. You guys can watch and make fun of me and tell me what to do. I've already told my brother I'm like, hey, listen, I'm going to be on a show that's going to be watched by several thousand people. My brother wants his game that he's been working on. I'm like, if I just wore a t-shirt that had your game name on it, your logo, I mean, maybe a QR code that could have.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
It's like, boy, I was just backstage. I was playing Typecast.
No, my brother's game, not Zach's game.
Yeah,
if I'm gonna shill for anybody first, it'll be for family. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna tell Zach that you don't consider him family.
He's my son. No, it'll be a fun time. December 6th, and the show's December 7th, and then. If we don't do a Game Awards drink along, maybe we will. If maybe we will, then we'll do a show maybe the next day on the 8th. So we shall see. Other than that, you can find us at sidequesting.com, SideQuesting TV on Twitch and YouTube, and obviously SideQuesting in the Discord, where we have selected our annual SideQuesting Secret Santa. I'm so excited. It's going to be fun. We have 12 people.
Yeah.
And we got a record number this year. It's fun. I got my victim. I got my selection.
I don't know how mean I want to be to my pick, who I got. So
Okay, yeah, so what we may end up doing is revealing at least the gifts during our side questing party. We haven't decided yet, but it'll be good. And yeah, as our good friend Exagimu says, tell people to get their addresses. I will send the notice to the folks who hopped on that were in there. Get your freaking address in there, and we'll go from there. So, all right. With that said, we'll see you in the next episode of. Take it away, JJ.
the Side Quest.